A war does not just kill people, it kills cultures. This siege is always eternal and only aims at complete erasure of the other. At first, the buildings are hit, then museums and libraries are attacked. All sites of memories are dangerous, and therefore they gradually cease to exist. Alone, he thinks only of forgetting. Like clumsy counsel, everything around him falls down. Nothing else is happening. He walks the path of departure without the keys to the houses, without a sigh for the many losses, or waiting for the night to inherit the place. The past will fall to the asphalt, like bags worn, old with wandering, from his shoulders it falls. This is an excerpt from the Palestinian poet Ghassan Zaktan's poem Time and Forgetting. He wrote this in response to author Naveen Kishore's letter for the yearly Siegel catalogue. The next conversation between the two writers happened on the New Year's Day of 2025. Zaktan spoke to Kishore and informed him that Israel's strike on Palestine has killed 26 people. One more sad mail from Palestine. Too many lives lost. Meanwhile, we celebrate Christmas and yet another New Year. Sorry, I can't stop the words, writes Kishore. Wars are never elsewhere. Wars have been glorified as the highest form of struggle, and wars have existed from time that private properties and class emerged. The world went on to become a place of democracies, and yet wars have grown and assumed new forms. There is always that lure for expansion. A free world is a dream still, and we continue to witness greed and brutality. From Ukraine to Gaza, war has reshaped borders, lives, and the global conscience. Remember, democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There was never a democracy yet that did not commit suicide. John Adams. As we reel from the seismic shifts, war and democracy are intertwined in a disturbing new order. Wars that should have ended linger on. Democracies that should have prevented bloodshed now justify it. Majority has decayed into majoritarianism. Once a tool of freedom, democracy now commands certainty. Certainty that excludes, oppresses, and destroys. The post-Cold War world fractured into new alliances and animosities. NATO's eastward push birthed conflicts that culminated in Ukraine's agony. In West Asia, vacuums left by American withdrawal invited Russia, China, and Iran into a deadly dance of power. In Asia Pacific, China's maritime ambitions forged new alliances. The Indo-Pacific became a theater where India finally claimed its seat, but at the cost of growing tensions. Multipolarity now dominates the narrative as countries reject the binaries of democracy versus authoritarianism. Interests trump values. The global south, mocked as nebulous, asserts autonomy, challenging the outdated global hierarchies. The US remains dominant, but its grasp is weakening. China's technological and military advances, Russia's enduring influence, and Europe's internal fractures signal a shifting power balance. New realities demand fresh frameworks. Project 2025 envisions a Europe defending itself while the US pivots to core interests. Ukraine's reconstruction will be a multi-billion-dollar odyssey while West Asia's fragile diplomacy teeters. An order that condemns Russia's invasion of Ukraine but ignores Gaza's devastation cannot claim moral authority. The anniversary issue of Outlook India looked at wars around the world. Wars that should have ended. Senseless killings, destruction, and loss have no place in this world. The last issue was homage to all the lives and love lost. But loss of this scale cannot be wrapped up in 100 pages. No amount of words can document the mourning and carnage of the last 2 decades. In this latest issue, we continue to bear witness to suffering, death, and destruction, because bearing witness remains our duty. Bearing witness is no longer passive. It is resistance against erasure. As the world burns, this is not a story of the past. It's the present we must survive. My daughter wouldn't hurt a spider that nested between her bicycle handles. For 2 weeks, she waited until it left of its own accord. If you tear down the web, I said, it will simply know this isn't a place to call home and you would get to go biking. She said, that's how others become refugees, isn't it?